You can't afford to miss Premier League football this weekend. If not, you go cry. See, you wouldn't want the situation whereby somebody would tell you and explain to you what happened between the Chelsea versus Manchester United game, or what happened between Manchester City and Arsenal, or what happened at the Merseyside derby between Everton and Liverpool. There are a lot of games to look forward to this weekend, and you cannot, you cannot afford to miss Premier League football this weekend. So many exciting games. I've also done this prediction. I've taken my time to do this prediction also. So do well to check that out also in my YouTube channel. And also, if you have not joined my Telegram channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. The link will be in the comment section also, or in my bio. So do well to join my Telegram channel, as well as I'll also be dropping some games in the comment section if you're watching from Facebook. Now, the game that should be starting this weekend, week 33 English Premier League game. There are about 5 games to go after this game. Currently now, before this game, 6 games to go. Interesting time, to the end of the season. They are very, very close to the end of the season. In less than a month, the Premier League will round up. But now, this is the most important part of the Premier League season. The Premier League season, where some teams will know their fate. They are going to qualify to the Champions League or not. While some teams will know their fate if they're going to go to the relegation or go to the championship, I should say, or not. The likes of Spurs, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, those teams fighting over there for their lives, also. And also the biggest one and the most important one is who will win the Premier League this season. That is the biggest one. And we have two contenders who will be facing each other this weekend, and that is Arsenal against Manchester City. As I'll be breaking down my preview and also giving my predictions also. But let me know what you think about each and every predictions I'll be giving today as I begin with the very first game of this weekend. That is Brentford against Fulham. I'll make sure I'll be very, very fast, as I don't want this video to be very long. Now, for Brentford, Thiago is doing well. They are scoring goals in that team, and that team is full of goals. So I would understand if you bet over 1.5, or if you play goals in this game. But guess what? They have not been winning, especially at home in the last 4-5 games. They have not been winning. The start of the season, Brentford, that home used to be one of their best, or one of their strengths when it comes to winning games. At Chelsea, they drew there, they defeated Man United, they lost against City, they defeated Liverpool. They were good at home. But in the last 5 games, it has not been good. They lost against Forest, they draw against Arsenal, they lost against Brighton, they draw against Wolves, and they draw against Everton. Right? So it has not been the best at home. Now, for Fulham, they lost their last game to Liverpool away from home. But prior to that game, they've been picking up points. They've been doing well as well, right? But between these two sides, the odds favor Fulham. Fulham has had the better side, or the better, when it comes to stats, head-to-head between these two sides, it has been Fulham. And if you take a look at the last couple of games, Fulham has not been in the best of form. In fact, in their last 5 games, they've won 1 and they've drawn 1 and they've lost 3. While for Brentford, in their last 5 games, they've not won at all. So that is a very, very huge problem. This game will be very close. My prediction for this game, something is telling me it's going to be a draw. In fact, a 2-2 draw. But if I take a look at the form, for Fulham and for Brentford, the form does not show who's going to win this game. The first leg ended in a 3-1 victory for Fulham. And that was a very good one, playing at home, And the odds favor them. If you want to be on the safe side, play Fulham, win or draw. But my prediction for this game is Brentford 2, Fulham 3. Yeah. So the next game, Leeds United against Wolves. Leeds United did a brilliant job playing against Manchester United, winning that game, 2 goals to 1, which is a very good one. But their home form has not been the best. They lost against City, lost against Sunderland, and they drew against Brentford, which is not the best, when it comes to form. Now, this game definitely will favor Leeds United, and to me, obviously, I think Leeds United will win. In their last 5 games, they've won 3, and with the way Calvert-Lewin, was it Romancin or the player's name? I've forgotten. The whole team as a whole has been doing well this season. While for Wolves, they had some level of form in last month and 2 months ago, but right now it has not been the best of form for them. In fact, in their last 5 games, they've just won 2, which is good. But still, it is not all in the Premier League. For my prediction for that game is a Leeds win. Leeds is going to win this game. My prediction for this game is Leeds 2, Wolves 0. Now to the next game, Newcastle against Bournemouth. Bournemouth surprised me last week. They've had series of draws, 6 in a row, and last week they went ahead to beat Arsenal. Or for Newcastle, their form has not been the best. It's either near here or there. I think this game will be very, very close. This game will be very, very close. And the first game ended in a goalless draw. That's to tell you how close this game can be. While the last game for Newcastle was a defeat away at Crystal Palace. After Crystal Palace won Fiorentina, they came back home and they defeated Newcastle. Now, for Bournemouth, they did the unthinkable, like I said last week, and which was a very good result for them. My prediction for this game is a draw. Newcastle 2, Bournemouth 2. Now to the next game, which is a big one. A big one because Spurs are fighting for their life and they are fighting to stay in the Premier League and not go to the Championship because it will be a total disaster. Now, the first home game for Roberto De Zerbi. This game produced an opportunity to announce yourself back in the Premier League, an opportunity to prove that what you've done in the last 2 weeks for Spurs has a future, an opportunity to show that Spurs has the will to survive relegation because they are not far off, Forest. So right now, this fixture has not favored Spurs in the last couple of games. But with the effect of Roberto De Zerbi, do you think Spurs can win this game? This game will be very close and will be very tough. I want to give Spurs a chance. After the loss against Sunderland last week, I gave them a chance. I said, that they were going to win, but they didn't win that game. Now they are playing against a Brighton side. The Brighton side has been on a good run of form. A win away at Burnley, a win away at Sunderland. They are, which is a very good one. Which to me is a very good one for for Brighton. Brighton sits 9th on the log, fighting. They are 1 point behind Everton and Brentford, and 2 points behind Chelsea, fighting to qualify for either Europa League or Conference League, which to me I think is a good one. This stands as an opportunity. But for Spurs, they've not been winning at home. In fact, playing at home has been a problem for Tottenham Hotspur. They've not won at home in a long, long time. I think the last time they won at home was against Burnley. I think that was the start of the season, if I'm not mistaken. They've not won at home in a long time. I'm not giving Tottenham Hotspur a chance. Brighton will not lose this game either. My prediction for this game is a draw. That is the best result Tottenham Hotspur can get in this game. With the unformed Brighton, that is the best result Tottenham Hotspur can get. Because Brighton has won 4 out of their last 5. So something is also telling me Brighton will win. Should I change my prediction? My prediction is a draw between Tottenham Hotspur and Brighton. But something is telling me to change that at this point. But I am using the Roberto De Zerbi effect, playing at home. and Tottenham Hotspur fighting for their lives. If I go by form, Brighton will win. If I go by form, Brighton will win. But if I go by what is at stake and the fight from Tottenham Hotspur, is going to be a draw. So my prediction for this game is a draw. Yeah. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Brighton 1. Now to the next game, Chelsea against Manchester United. This is one of the biggest game of the weekend. One of them, because we have series of big games in the weekend. But you see, this game is a tough one and a no-brainer for Chelsea. Chelsea cannot negotiate, cannot afford to draw points yet again. It will be a total disaster to lose 3 consecutive games at home. And they are playing against a Manchester United side that was a poor away record in the last couple of games. Can Manchester United win? Obviously. Can Chelsea win? It is a no-brainer. But I don't see Manchester United winning. The reason is because of the effects and the injuries and the suspension at Manchester United defense. Chelsea is not on form. Manchester United is even in a better form than Chelsea. But Manchester United will not win this game. Right? Out of 5 center back for Manchester United, only 1 is fit. That is a problem. Right? For Chelsea, we expect Fernandes back we expect players should step up. That, losing at home last week against Manchester City was a total disgrace and a disaster. So Chelsea needs to get back on form, and qualifying for the Champions League is the main priority for Chelsea. Manchester United are also fighting to qualify for the Champions League, as Manchester United are 55 points while Chelsea are in 48 points. If Chelsea win this game, they will go 3 points, with making it 51 points and 4 points behind Manchester United at that point, and they have an opportunity to qualify, because this time it is 5 teams that is going to qualify to the Champions League. So Chelsea cannot afford to lose this game against Manchester United. That is where it's going to be very, very close. But one good thing going on for Chelsea is that in the last couple of games against Manchester United at home, Chelsea have not really lost. Remember when Chelsea tried to qualify for the Champions League last season? Chelsea won that game 1-0. There was a time also Chelsea won that game 4-3 with Cole Palmer scoring, right? So I think in the last 4 games at home, Chelsea has not lost to Manchester United. So my prediction for this game is a win for Chelsea, because Manchester United has a poor away record, a very poor one. Look at what happened against Bournemouth. It was managed that they managed to win against Everton with a 1-goal lead towards the end of the game. They lost at Newcastle. They draw at West Ham. So you could see the patterns, right? So I think Chelsea will win this game. Right. With the loss for Manchester United against Leeds, it's a very hurtful one. My prediction for this game is a win for Chelsea. My prediction is Chelsea 2, Manchester United 1. Now to the next game, Aston Villa against Sunderland. Quick one on this. For Aston Villa, brilliant run of form, in the Europa League. Sunderland won their last 2 home games, but now they are going away to play. They won against Leeds United away from home, and they won against Newcastle. That is a good result for them. Very, very good result. Aston Villa drew their last game away from home at Nottingham Forest. Now, they've been dropping points unnecessarily, and teams are beginning to catch up. Right? If for the fact that Liverpool and Chelsea are serious, they should have catch up with Aston Villa. Aston Villa has not been in the best of form. But this game is going to be a victory for Aston Villa this time. It's going to be a victory for them. My prediction for this game is Aston Villa 3, Sunderland 1. Now to the next game, Everton against Liverpool. A very big one this weekend. Why? Because of it's a derby. It's a Merseyside derby. Now this is the first time Liverpool will be playing at the new home of Everton. Liverpool in fact they lost their last game in the Champions League. They won their last game in the Premier League. 2 goals to 0 at home against Fulham. Before then, it was a loss against Brighton. Now, I expect the likes of McAllister, Gakpo to step up. Gakpo has been on the bad run of form. Look at the likes of Iketike, who's currently injured, who's going to step in, who's going to step up. Is Isak back on form? He just got back from injury. Mohamed Salah, is he going to step up? He scored also, against Fulham. Ugohoma, what's going to happen? This is a derby. Anything can happen in the derby. But Liverpool are going into this derby in not a good form. But when it comes to derby, form goes out of the window in this particular one. Right now, if you want to talk about who's on form right now, it is Everton. Can Everton win? Because of the fact that they've been on form recently, right? They drew a last minute. In fact, Beto has been on form. Beto has been scoring goals. Liverpool will not want to lose this one. Liverpool will not. Even if it's looking like Liverpool is going to lose, Liverpool will not want to lose this one. My prediction for this game is a draw. Everton 1, Liverpool 1. Now to the next game quickly. Nottingham Forest against Burnley. Nottingham Forest, couple of good results in the Europa League. A couple of good results also, I should say, in not in the Premier League. So their results at home has not been the best. But most of the time, they've been able to pick 1 point here or there, but it's not the best for them. In fact, in the last 2 games have been draws. Now, they're playing against the Burnley side that has been poor. They've only won 1 away from home in the last 10 or 11 games. So I don't think Burnley has what it takes to win against Nottingham Forest. They might score. Yes, Burnley might score. But Nottingham Forest will win that game. My prediction for this game is Nottingham Forest 3, Burnley 1. Even if something says 2-1. But let's stick with 3-1. Now to the next game, which is the biggest one for the weekend. Manchester City against Arsenal. If you miss this game, whether Arsenal fan, whether Chelsea fan, any fan, if you miss this game, I am sure you would miss one of the best games this season. Not because of the fact that it's being played by 2 giants, but because of what is at stake. You cannot afford to miss this game. Who do you think will win between Arsenal against Manchester City, or Manchester City rather against Arsenal? Who's more on form? Manchester City. Incredible run of form in the last couple of games. They defeated Arsenal in the Carabao Cup final. They won their FA Cup game. They won their Premier League game. It's been a very, very good one. For them dismantling Chelsea at home, brilliant performance, brilliant run of form. When it comes to where the trophies matters, that is where you can catch, Guardiola being super serious. And if there's a team, like I always say, that is super serious when it comes to the trophy being at stake, it has to be Manchester City. But there's an opportunity for Arsenal. Yes, the opportunity to show your fans that you are serious to win the league. An opportunity to show your fans that it is possible. An opportunity to turn the season over yet again. Because if Arsenal wins this game, we are looking at extra points ahead. So it is a huge opportunity for Arsenal. This looks like a 6-pointer to me. Now, a 6-pointer is you and that team fighting for a particular goal, in which if you pick that 3 points, you deprive them of 3 points. So it's just like technically depriving them, taking 3 points off them. So this is a very, very huge one. This is like a final in a league, even if leagues don't have final. But this is a tough one for both sides. Trust me, the likes of Haaland is off form. But if you see Cheki, you see Semenyo, you see Doku, those guys are turning up. Now, who turns up for Arsenal? That is the question. With Saka being injured, Trossard not on form, Gabriel not on form, Martinelli not on form, Gabriel in attack, not in defense. At least Arsenal defense are just incredible. But in the last couple of games, they've been concerns. Right? Now, Gyökeres scored a penalty against Bournemouth, which is a good one. But who carries this Arsenal team up front when the going gets tough? That is where my question is. Because for Manchester City, there are lots of players that can produce a moment of magic. But who can do that for Arsenal? You cannot depend on set piece. You cannot. This is a Manchester City side who will press you, who will dominate, who has goals in the team. So where will the goal come from? But it is possible for Arsenal to do it. But can Arsenal do it? And can Manchester City get that result and break that gap, break that point between Arsenal and them? So this is a huge game. That's why I said you cannot afford to miss this game this weekend. So who do you think will win? But to me, I think this game will be close. I think this game will be very close. My prediction for this game is a win for Manchester City. My prediction is Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1. Now to the last game of the weekend, which is a Monday night football. Tough fixture always on the Monday night football. Crystal Palace against West Ham. Crystal Palace, good run of form. They have dominated this particular fixture, and I think they have everything it takes. Look at their run of form in the last couple of games, and I think it's been very good. West Ham, incredible run of form as well, especially playing at home. They've been winning games playing at home, but away from home still is a concern for them. My prediction for this game is a win for Crystal Palace. My prediction is, something tells me 2-1, but let's stick with my original thoughts. My prediction is Crystal Palace 3, West Ham 2. So also give me your own predictions in the comment section. Don't forget to follow this page, like and share this video. If you want to join my Telegram channel, check the comment section. You see the link there to join my Telegram channel for free, where I give predictions and also drop games for you to play. So do well to join, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, follow this page until I come your way again next time. I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.